I love Venn diagrams. It's just something about those three circles and the analysis about where there is the intersection, right? So the importance of community banks is they are, as they are called, they're in the community. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know? You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Here's the thing. Who doesn't love a yellow school bus? Right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right?
You know, Democrats want you to believe that the most unpopular vice president in history, widely panned as incompetent, is suddenly some combination of Lincoln and Einstein. And if the polls are any indication, some people are buying it. For Team Trump, what some have called a slump over the last few weeks is a tremendous opportunity for reinvention. And whether the former president and the campaign allow it to happen, though, remains to be seen. Kamala Harris is getting a clever makeover. Mr. Trump can and should use this moment to reintroduce himself to the electorate as well. You know, just because the Donald Trump who charmed audiences on Oprah or once made small talk with the ladies on The View has battle scars today, yeah, it actually happened. They used to love him. It doesn't mean that he can't show voters that he's so much more than a rally speech and a social media screed. Team Trump needs this charm offensive now, before the sentencing in September and the massive commercial ad buys about January 6th to come. Democrats have attacked Mr. Trump's character for nearly a decade, especially calling him a threat to democracy.
The Republicans, led by the former president, instigated a war on American democracy.
He is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
He is completely unfit because he is a real threat to democracy.
You know, they understand that choosing a president is far more of an emotional decision rather than a rational one for many people. For 8 years, he's been defined by the left as nasty, self-absorbed, unpresidential, and outright dangerous. And let's be honest, it's worked to some degree. And the former president sometimes doesn't help his cause. Look, people know what Donald Trump stands for. They've heard the rally speeches. They've seen the combative press conferences. Campaigns are exhausting and seemingly endless in the digital era. Unlike the whistle-stop tours of years past when people heard from a candidate maybe once, today they often hear elements of the stump speech dozens of times, and it frankly gets boring. That's why long speeches and hour-long rallies don't win elections. True, they can demonstrate an air of enthusiasm, but with biased media who only show tight shots on television, the effectiveness of those massive events is diminished for Republicans. What the voters are looking for now is to be surprised. They're looking for something new and different. What makes a campaign exciting is when a candidate says or does something unexpected. That's the opportunity for Mr. Trump now. How many Americans know the Donald Trump who loves music, everything from opera to Sinatra to Metallica? We know Mr. Trump plays golf, a lot of it. What's his secret to playing the game so many people struggle to master for decades? Believe me, I'm one of them. Whatever happened to Grandpa Trump? I loved Grandpa Trump. We saw him at the convention, a smiling former president, one grandchild on his lap, another on stage, telling the nation about the Donald Trump most of us have never met, the one who greets his grandkids with bear hugs and kisses, picking them up in the air and making them laugh, the one who prints out a good report card to show folks, the one who's so incredibly proud of his children. Mr. Trump has certainly articulated his understanding of the biblical underpinnings of our constitutional freedoms. He recently discussed his faith with Elon Musk. More interviews about that would be compelling. One of Mr. Trump's best moments from the campaign so far was when he went off script at a South Bronx rally to talk to young people about his father, about how he started his business, and the importance of hard work to make it in America. It was a very powerful and personal moment. And about the Donald Trump who doesn't drink alcohol because he watched his brother lose a years-long battle with the bottle. In a time of rising drug use and addiction, talking about the dangers of substance abuse would help him make a connection with both parents and young people. There have been brilliant moments on this campaign where he's connected with real Americans at a firehouse, a construction site, a bodega, and fast food restaurants. He needs to do more of that now. He's good at it. People are buckling under the weight of the inflation Democrats and the media claim Kamala Harris has absolutely nothing to do with. Mr. Trump shouldn't be campaigning in arenas. He should be campaigning in supermarket parking lots and gas stations like he's running for town council. Knock on some doors with some volunteers. Drop into some living rooms in suburban neighborhoods along the way as well. He should see the urban decay firsthand and talk with real people about how Democrats have abandoned minority communities. That shows relatability and leadership. Press can't ignore that. Donald Trump should treat this like Celebrity Apprentice in reverse, earning it every day. Now's the time to not only start using Kamala Harris's own words against her, but allow the more likable, relatable side of the man that I have called the blue-collar billionaire to come through. Ditch the red tie and go local. Meet people where they are. Forget the national networks and talk to local press. Less of this guy and more of this guy. And watch the polls shift. The real Kamala Harris can crater her campaign, while the real Donald Trump can surprise Americans again by flipping the script and reconnecting with the American people.